Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Live broadcast of the USA Cycling League presented by Saris Pros Closet. We are out on the 6th train reverse in New York today with the men's and the women's racing for the A category. I got Dave Toll next to me. I'm Nathan Guerra. Going to be your host for today for, I think you said it was 39K, right around 39K of racing out here today.
Yeah.
It's going to be very punchy, I think, today, Dave.
Yeah, Nathan, you know this course super well. This is part of the New York world, Central Park. I love it. It's Saris in the Pros Closet. Nathan, you ever sell anything on the Pros Closet or buy anything through them?
It actually
You
is.
use a lot of equipment.
Yes, this is true, and it definitely was a part of my life for quite a while. When I was always at the end of the year, there's always that: are you on the same team? What bike are you racing? What's on its way? Kind of a thing. Okay,
Right.
what are the
Sure.
assets you have? You're playing that like juggling equipment thing going on in the pros closet world, because that is definitely a thing in the life of a pro cyclist looking to make it. So
No doubt.
it is very cool service that they provide there. That's for sure for all of us.
Well, I
Out here.
know I know that you could relate as you've got kids who are going to be really getting into the sport as well, it looks like. I saw some of your Insta videos. Those kids are ripping it. I love it. So all these things connect because the Pros Closet has been supporting junior cycling vis-a-vis USA Cycling. There's a program they have now. It's all about getting equipment to kids who need it. Bike stuff can be expensive. We want to lower that barrier, just get more people out on
Well, I'm gonna
bikes.
have to
So
get a
a
hold
lot
of
of
them
things.
because we're like getting bikes for
Yeah.
the War
Oh, yeah.
Series right now. I didn't. You learn something every day. I'm not kidding. That's pretty awesome. Appreciate that
Hey,
one.
sponsorship works.
All right,
Sponsorship
let's
works.
jump in.
That's
I
for
got
sure.
Adam Zimmerman on the call on the
Oh, great.
course. It looks like here 79th place currently, everybody, and it looks like the former U.S. national champion of Zwift is jumping out into the racing out here today. So the men are out on course. Women are in the pens with about 3:11 to go to the start of their race. So that's the current situation as we're heading out onto the course. Obviously, here it does look like. We have seen a lot of newer names recently into the world of Zwift racing, and a lot of them showing up over and over again here. I did see, I believe, one of the Legion. Yes, Freya. And Freya is showing up again, it looks like, as well as I did see one of the last names of Williams out here. I wasn't sure which
Oh,
one it was. So interesting to see a couple of T. Williams, Tyler, it looks like,
okay.
in the race out here today.
You remember how active he was, Nathan, in the Redlands race that we had hosted? Big thank you to Saris and the Pros Closet for hosting our USA Cycling race here. So, Nathan, again, just to lay out the groundwork, 6 laps for all of our riders, the men and the women. There's 4 different categories for each group. We will be focusing on this group right here. This is the men. They're out on course, as Nathan just mentioned. The women will be rolling out of their start grid shortly as they'll hit out for the finish line. Also racing 6 laps, 39K. So we've established that. This course is much, much harder than one would think. I liken it to the good old Tour of Missouri. As people said, Missouri, that's going to be the flattest, easiest race ever. Well, it turned out to be these relentless rolling hills. It created abundant opportunities to attack. And Nathan, we're going to see the same thing out here. This is going to be a really exciting course to race on. 39K, it should be, about under 50 minutes of racing for all of our riders. I see good old Cormac Mcgill. He's become one of our favorites very quickly out here. I think he and I both got into esports racing about the same time, Nathan. So you kind of the guys you come in because we recently got into this. You've been doing it now since the sport began. And there's some heavy hitters like, well, let's go to the top of the list. The Canadian Brett Boniface is here today. The American Brian Hodges, not James Hodges, the Brit. They're but both notable riders. And then watch out for the nasty Johan Gren, the Swedish rider. So the dropouts, Evoke, SZ, these teams all represented. You got 2 Canadians sitting in our top 4 ranking wise, Nathan. That's Luc Gilbeau as well. However, let's look at some points. Let's see what we have here after 2. This is the 3rd round of racing. We've done a couple prelim races as well. But Nathan, there's the top of the list, the king, Brett Boniface.
Brett Boniface, yep, and then it looks like this is the international current standings, just so everybody knows. There is going to be USA Cycling standings that are going to live on their website, so you can check those out over at usacycling.org. But Brett Boniface obviously was 60 points there. Nicholas Peterson coming out of Denmark. Mike Human, and then Freddie Ovid, actually, winner, I believe, in the Tour for All this recently. Pretty cool to see Ovid on the front of there.
Yeah, Nathan, I just want to add, look who he beat in that Tour for All. So if you're out here racing with Freddie Ovitt, okay, you and I were talking about this off mic earlier. Now, Freddie Ovitt just beat Matthew Vanderpool in a straight up drag race. I mean, you look, I think the watts per kilo and just the raw watts that were being made in that finale, it is bananas. And Freddie Ovitt won. And he races with these guys. And Nathan, he can't just attack at will, can he? I mean, he's another racer in this group. As a matter of fact, nobody in this sport wins at will. It really comes down to tactics, strong teams. And I just want to go back to what you were saying, Nathan. This race is being scored as a open category, right? This is all your A-man and international. It makes no difference. We just score it based on your result. But we do have a breakout from that, which is our USA Cycling results. And that will be the guys that have hold a USA Cycling license, and women. You put in your license number, and then you can see results that are tailor-made. So we'll find out who our top Americans are.
We do have the women just jumping out on course here. A Poland here from Evoke that we're watching, and just go ahead and jump in with them and see how their start's going as they are getting out on course here as we get in with the women's races. They are only half a K in. It does look like Chaffin here from Vixen. See Good from Team Fearless. It's going to be Evoke, though, taking over at the front with Poland. Murray is here as well from Saris Infinite. And let's take a quick look at their standings, well, for this A category as they do get out on course. And we've had quite the battle at the front for those sprints with Shawnee Berger, followed up by Lauren Stevens, obviously from Tipco. Tipco also being very dominant in the Tour for All amongst the UCI Pro Tour. So that's going on in the Tour for All. That's been pretty awesome to watch. Carolyn Murray, though, obviously there, followed up by Christy Tracy. It's going to be Daniela Straight from Revo, Anna Russell, and then it's going to be Charlotte Backus, Pamela Levine from Vision, Clara James Hart, and then Claire Good. All those names that we do see up toward the front. There are a couple of new hitters, though, out here today. I am seeing a pro triathlete with Jay Herring out here, and I believe she's actually got an Evoke tag from what I saw in the name just a moment ago. I'll see if I can find it again here. But there was, toward the front here, getting picked up by Team Evoke. Good to see Evoke here recruiting in the world of Zwift from the world of pro triathletes.
Yeah, there's more and more of this cross-pollination that's happening. It's not just between triathlon and regular road racing, as well as folks that were never out on Zwift before that are now really embracing it. Lauren Stevens is absolutely a rider to highlight when you talk about that, Nathan. What a success story she's been. So she's won races like Winston-Salem Classic, which is a huge one-day UCI race. I would say the biggest one-day race that you can win as a woman in North America would be happening there in North Carolina. They do such a good job of supporting racing in half a year. So she's won there, coming back from an injury, which into a fully successful. It's no longer a comeback. She is really riding at the highest level we've ever possibly seen. The thing is, we're doing it out here on Zwift, but you look at the quality of riders that she's been beating. I mean, she has been en fuego. So obviously one of the riders to watch in this women's field here. Nathan, a little bit smaller group. There has been an insane amount of racing going on over the last week. It has been incredible, and we've got a lot to look forward to as well. But this is going to be Berger, the Israeli champion that we have. She already picked up a big win in this USA Cycling Series. She's extremely strong in the finale, Nathan. Keep your eye on her.
Yeah, definitely be watching with Shawnee Berger. She's been going to the line with Lauren Stevens over and over again in this race. Now, being into the third race, I think some of the women here may be, smarting up, doing a little bit of work, tactical work maybe, and we'll have to see on this course. It's going to be, I think, a little bit more tactical with how many punchy sections you have. You have more opportunity maybe to send people off the front or make some moves. We are seeing on the front exactly what's going on here. It looks like Saris here are making moves. Look at this. This is a coordinated attack, and the women are making a very interesting race. TV time it is. Christy Tracy, Murray, Jennifer Reel, all to the front in a straight line, making moves. Team Fearless right on the wheel as well. Team Fearless and Saris are actually very good friends. Team Saris Infinite came out of Team Fearless, actually. They know each other. They're most likely in a Discord channel saying, let's blow this up. Charlotte Backus from Team Turbo, now here 7.3 watts per kilogram, knowing this is the move to watch for. What? Look at how it's strung out here. And there's some riders, big names here being caught out. Look at the behind here. Herring is here from Evoke, just hanging on in the gap here. Polly Mason, Team Fearless, Saris Infinite there. And Berger, though, series leader, just grabbing back on from Team Saris Infinite. So maybe a little miscommunication about where to be out on course at that point, because that was a coordinated attack. Somebody in Discord said, light it up. And look off the back now. It looks like Steven's just getting in here for Team Tibco. Counterattack coming through from Vixen. It looks like a few, though, have been dropped off. They've blown this up so early, and it's done and dusted for Ramsey, it looks like, as well as Revo's Jay Wright. The women are on fire today.
Nathan, if the Supreme Court saw this, they'd call that inhumane, because they just went ballistic. I mean, we're only 3.8K into a 39-kilometer race, 6 laps around Central Park. You highlighted this course. It is punchy, to say the least. It's just these short climbs come, and they're not steep climbs. And to call them even a climb might be pushing it. They're rollers. But what happens is they keep pushing the pace over the top, over and over. It's body blow after body blow. Look at the men. They are flying right now. Over 55K an hour, and they're already 9K in, Nathan. So, okay, we've got a good look here at both of the races. There's actually 8 races happening concurrently out here on the Central Park World in New York. So brace yourselves, buckle up. This is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, the women are going to be splitting this group up like cordwood.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in with the men real quick here to see what the current situation is. 161 men total for the start. I do believe it's been broken up just a tad. A few have fallen off, but there's a lot of bodies here to use for that draft here. C. Mullins making the way to the front, as you can see. Still, Grupo Compacto pretty much out on course. Doesn't look like they've been able to really break things up too much amongst the men out here so far. We do see your chat coming on through over on Facebook as well as YouTube. You can jump in on Twitter as well and send us your images if you are watching one of the riders at home, or just your Zwift setup, you're enjoying the broadcast, let us know, and go ahead and send those in. We will try and bring any of your in real life interactions over on Twitter. You can do that by @ZCommunityLive, @ZCommunityLive. But also, if you have questions or comments, bring them in on over on socials, and we will most definitely be watching chat here and trying to keep up. 39K, thanks a lot, chat, for helping out with the questions there as well. It is 39K, 6 laps out here today. 9.9 finished for the men with 11:45 into the racing, as it does look like a little attack off the front here. See if we can find the riders that we're currently sitting with 94th place. A few riders looks like struggling here. Mox in there, but it's going to be Velas here from Dirt. We try. NSW, it looks like A grade there as well in the front. George Mills, Keeling. He's been messaging me a little bit. He said he liked watching Boost Mode yesterday and was really interested to try it, but obviously saving the legs for the USA Cycling League today. I'm saving my legs for the USA Cycling League as well later today. I'll get back into Boost Mode tomorrow, I think, out on the Jungle Loop. But very cool to see George always showing up for the races. Brian Hodges, Evoke. You know, that's a rider to watch out for today, I think, Dave. Hodges, we just saw his name pop up there, and very opportune, because Hodges has the turn of speed for a course like this. If it comes to the line, I think Corey Williams versus Brian Hodges is a very interesting matchup that we're going to see out here today.
Yeah, I completely agree, Nathan. We're going to add some more names to that list, but those are the 2 big ones, aren't they? The California State Champion. Williams had 2 podiums, 2 silver medals. I have to believe that he's hungry for a win here. So, again, Corey Williams, the success story, one of the team I would just say the management ownership of the team that they also race for. He and his brothers have been quite a story. So that's Tyler Williams as well. So there are a couple Legion riders. And did you maybe even mention Eder Friere? We might have him in this race. I haven't seen him yet, but
yes,
we
definitely
will.
In the race. I definitely saw his.
There you go. So. Okay, so that's 3 of very, very strong riders in a coordinated effort for Legion. So certainly worth noting. Again, there's nowhere to hide out here. Brett Boniface will be attacking this race. I mean, we will see old school fury out here again, Nathan. They're just really now nudging past 11K. Taking a look at an attack, though, it looks like it's going to be Murray here. Another one of the Saris riders attacking, I believe, here with, looks to me, I can't, my eyes aren't good enough to see. Thanks, Nathan. Throwing me a bone, right? 4 seconds, the gap.
4 seconds to gap. Looks like Murray here from Saris Infinite now giving a little dig. And this is a great section to do it. 2% uphill gradient through this section. Each lap, this is going to be an opportunity as they come through the lap finish banner on that little, it's a little bit of a bump into the finish line, 6-7% gradient or so. And it's going to be a very difficult uphill sprint at the finish. But it also lends itself directly afterwards, if you do get a couple of seconds, to continue on because of that falls flat. The rest of the group has to work about as hard as you are working, at least on the front. She gets this gap here. Murray now at 5.1 watts per kilogram, making the chase happen. None of her teammates are going to chase. It looks like Saris Infinite have shown up with a very tactical race out here today. Well-oiled machine, it looks like. And look as they sit in. Berger toward the back. You'll see a lot of the Saris kids toward the back. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably Mason in there. Russell all sitting in, making sure they're not doing any work in the front, allowing Murray to make the other riders do the work to try and bring things back. Vixen having to do some work. Vision at the front as well, it looks like. We're maybe going to see, is Tibco still involved here? Where is Lawrence? Lawrence Stevens is there.
I see Stevens
is
right
here.
there.
Yep, definitely right here. And there's that Tibco kit. So still able to hang on. Evoke's here as well, it looks like. So, but the work now being done, it looks like, by Evoke and Vixen, the main teams that are trying to bring this back with Murray. Still off the front. She's got 7 seconds, and she's continuing on. This is a committed effort here. She's putting her chips on the table. Maybe not quite all in, but definitely risking a little bit before that river card.
Nathan, I'd rather be involved in trying to get a raw T-bone steak out of a pit bull's mouth than get Lauren Stevens out of that group. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be hard to drop. Not fun. So I see our friend Charlotte Backus taking some polls now. That's nice to see. She's been very active, sitting up in the top 10. The women are holding up their end of the deal, that's for sure. I think we've got 5 U.S. women in the top 10 right now after 3, or this is the 3rd race in this series. So good job, though, that Murray holding on. This is how you race, putting on a clinic for USA Cycling here, Nathan, I'd say. Kristy Tracy moving herself up to the front. We've talked about Kristy. It seems like every time we race, she is, there you go. She has a lot of fans out there. She is a spirited racer out of Austin, Texas. We talked about her coming back from that fractured hip. That right there is one thing, but to be back in racing at this level, she'll oftentimes jump in with the men with no hesitation at all. Nathan, one of the more inspirational riders. Thanks, Kristin Tracy, for racing again.
Absolutely awesome to see Jamie Tracy throwing that out at Seg Husband. I love the name, Seg Husband. He's the Seg Wagon. I love it. And watching the favorite rider, Kristy Tracer, live. And this is her on screen here as well, bringing it in through Twitter. Thanks a lot for throwing that out there, Jamie Tracy. Very cool images to see of the live racing that's going on right now out on Zwift. It looks like Saris is going to get pulled back in. Kristy Tracy doing her job, sitting in, allowing Vixen to do the work. Now an attack here from Kristy, though. 9.4 watts per kilogram. Soon as her teammate has caught Murray, the Saris team is just making sure,
baby.
rope-a-dope for sure. Left and right, put them in the corner, then over to the other one. It looks like Saris is here to play games, that's for sure.
This reminds me of a lot of sporting endeavors where, you never know when they're going to ramp it up. It's really hard to find a rhythm on this course, the rollers, so sometimes the best defense is the best offense, right? And here you go, Kristy Tracy going to attack, going up and over the top of her teammate's effort. Nathan, again, if someone said, hey, could you show me how do you race as a team over 39 kilometers? Well, I think they're starting early, but I like it. That means they believe in themselves. They've got the resources. They've got the capital investment to afford to be able to make these moves. Let's see if they go up and over the top of this Kristy Tracy move, or if Kristy's going to get some help. And I think it's going to be the latter, Nathan. Well, or actually make it a catch. Let's see what happens next. This is the Machiavellian chess match going on right now in Central Park.
Backus there from Turbo, closing things down in the women's race. And the men's race, just wanted to bring this in real quickly because things are really stretched out. They went in through, I believe, their second lap and going into their third here. And we did see a pretty stretched out peloton. And there was a break that did happen just a moment ago. I'm going to see if I can find at the back of this pack who was dropped off. But it looks like a solid pack of about 5 or 6 riders unable to make this juncture. There's still some riders falling off as 184 beats coming from Fuller from Subaru Santa. Looks like T. Wolf there as well. Gazzard, Mitchell. Sandberg, though, off the back with Wolf and Nordy Dirt from the Dirt team. So a nice little split happening here. Looks like Ned Bowen just making it back on terms and a few other riders at the back of this group. So I believe we're going to be looking. We'll see if it does populate on the upper right-hand side of the screen there for what the current placing is in the men's race. Looks like women's race almost back together, but there's still some attacks going off the front. It looks like Saris countered again. And it was Russell. It's like one after another in this women's race. Saris just will not stop. I love the tactics that they're playing. And now we see that Murray comes over the top with 8 watts per kilogram. So they just continue to push. Anna Russell here now, 5.1 watts per kilogram. Backus now from Turbo.
It's funny. Sorry, Nathan. I was just thinking to myself, it's funny, if you were Saris, right? The one thing you'd say to Charlotte Backus here is, hey, Charlotte, why don't you let Lauren Stevens chase more? Because obviously that's the rider that you're trying to soften up and tenderize here, right? Saris knows that in order to win this race, Stevens is the rider to beat, or Shari Berger, right? But Charlotte, go ahead and let those ladies chase a little bit too here, right? I mean, if that's what you'd be saying if you were her director. I love it, Nathan, because so much of this battle is mental, and Charlotte is such a gamer, right? That kid is like, I don't know. Charlotte might weigh 45 kilograms, but probably 10 of those kilos are heart. I mean, she is a fighter for sure. And sometimes your greatest strength is your greatest weakness out here. What a compliment that is, right? When people are telling you, do less work, try to help to get the other girls to do but again, that's what you can't change a tiger's stripes sometimes as well. And here we go, picking up Luke Gilles, the Canadian now, much like Brett Boniface, very well-known rider. I love seeing the Rio up here. Good to see Rio Grande's team out of Fort Collins, Colorado, riding up in Wouter Zwart. Bad news bears. The BNB men are in full effect. Nathan, we got a very interesting three-rider break holding on to, I'm going to say, 7 seconds.
Yeah, we do see TNSW trying to make the chase out of Australia. George Meads Keeling now just sitting in the wheels. You can see here, not on the wheel actually there. So it looks like with this little bump in the 4% gradient, and I think we're going to get a catch in a second here. Breg Bergen from the Vikings team making his way for us. Mullins is there as well. They come through at 45 kilometers per hour. 45 here currently coming from Luke Chabal. Zwart. And then Mar from the Rio Grande Elite team. They're holding on to 6 seconds here. Now we do see Tyler Williams, 10-8. Now a big kick. Will he be able to hold on to this gap? It's so difficult to get away from the speeds there. We do see Cormac Mcgill now up and out of the saddle there from Wildlife Generation, trying to come across. Larry Parker, Saris TPC now trying to go across as well. These are some real moments in the racing now. Speeds are going to get up into that 60s, even 70 kilometers per hour in a moment, most likely. Now Larry Parker coming across. Now this is a solid move. As it flattens out, the speeds will stay, I believe, in the men's race. Now I think the business end, I think we're going to start getting into this a little bit with the split. 40 trying to come across, one of the longest times racers. We're talking about going back to beta days. This is one to watch out for. It looks like he's picked up on Hino. I did not know that about 40. Riding for Team Hino out here. Good to see. 40, very strong rider. TT specialist for sure. Doing the work at the front, bringing things back. Not quite there yet, though. These meters do matter. If they back off at this point, there are 5 of the strongest riders in the race off the front. They do not want to let this go, and it looks like it will be coming back with the reality of how a pack functions out on Zwift.
Yeah, it looks like enough horsepower there, and they are going to hit the reset button. Nathan, how about this? Joining us watching from Boise, Idaho, Kristin Armstrong, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, tuning in. Great, and a big fan of Zwift. I'm a huge fan of hers, so very cool to know that Kristin has watched. She's a part of our USA Cycling family as much as the queen of USA Cycling. So Kristin Armstrong, welcome. How cool is that, Nathan? I get really excited when I see a name like that pop up on the screen. So we're going to be going back. That's going to be Lauren Stevens, who would be someone who's raced with Kristin Armstrong in real life. Stevens now riding up near the front. They're going to bring this one back together as well. The mighty Saris team with, I'm going to say, at least 3 different attacks now. We're going to see who wants to roll up the road. Again, it's Christy Tracy, Nathan. So it's just body blow after body blow being thrown by Saris, but this group remains resilient here. A lot of depth. And you have to remember that Shani Berger as well in this group. She's been going toe-to-toe with Lauren Stevens here over these first of these USA Cycling races. For those of you that are joining us that aren't avid Zwifters already, this is a race series that's being presented by the Saris, which is they make trainers and bike racks and all kinds of very useful high-end cycling equipment. A lot of women and men in this race are using Saris right now. The Pros Closet out of Boulder, Colorado, does a tremendous job of getting bicycles to people who want bicycles and bike stuff, and they're all about bike culture there as well. So that explains what we're doing. We're almost to about a third of the way in of the 39 total Ks, 6 laps for the men and the women. Nathan, we've got people left, right, and center all over Central Park Racing right now with 8 different categories. These are the elite women, so we call these the A's, the A men. They had a 5-rider breakaway with some big names that was just being brought back the last we checked. It's Grupo Compacto right now for the women as well. Both races have seen a few riders getting dropped out of those groups, but Nathan, pretty much what you'd expect right now. They've been trying to work Stevens and Berger over, and maybe I'd say limited success.
Yeah, let me just. I think here's the other thing. I think Saris there. If you haven't noticed, I have not seen Berger toward the front at all, and Saris continue to attack and attack and attack. I have a feeling
Agreed.
that I think that the tactic here from the Saris Infinite team is not to put the hurt on Berger, obviously their teammate, but is to maybe loosen everybody else up a little bit, put some hurt in the legs of everyone else, while Berger sits in and allows herself to be pulled up to each and every one of those
Nathan?
attacks by the other riders. They're really putting the work in here, I think, for Shawnee Berger, who actually is the current series leader in this women's USA Cycling League right now.
100%. I totally apologize. That was me misreading. I did not realize Berger was on Saris. So there you go. That's why you need to pay super close attention out here, because you are 100% correct. That's why it's Stevens and Bacchus are two of the riders that have been doing a lot of the work here, because they've got the most to lose, right? They're both holding on to, well, in Lauren's case, she's one of the top riders that's been coming out of this field. So good catch there. Sorry about that one. Jumping back over, it looks like the men stringing this group out here. Women pretty compact right now.
On this section, of course, every single time it seems like they kick it over the top of that lap finish banner, as we said earlier. And, it's a little bit of a punch. It gets into a 7 or 8% gradient at a time, and then it goes into a false flat. And because of that, they're able to really press the pace. Heading to the front now, we do see CCNS there now at a solid 63 kilometers per hour, negative 4% gradient, as you can see. And now it's going to be more. Hodden, Romy to the front as well. A couple of wild cards, it looks like, in here. And Nair there from Project Echelon also making way to the front, it looks like. So good to see Project Echelon helping to put on the Redlands Classic this past weekend. And it looks like DTR. Lister there. Brett Boniface now middle of the pack, making his way to the front. Plenty of riders still in here, but it has been whittled down yet again. Cormac Mcgill still in there. Adam Zimmerman, as you can see. McLean there from Cannondale. And it's going to be Thomas there. Crimson. Sheriffs from the KRT. KISS Racing team in here. One of the longest standing teams out on Zwift in that blue and light blue and a little bit of orange accents on there. Looks like another Saris rider there in the middle of the pack, as you can see. Cortez, B2C2. And I'm also seeing a Core Sports rider at the back. Good to see somebody donning the Core Sports kit in game as well. So plenty of riders still in here. It's still anyone's race, I think. There's lots of favorites, but I believe we're still looking at a huge pack of riders here where anybody could take down this sprint as we're heading into the second half of the race. It's going to be 39K in total, so a little bit over halfway done.
Yeah, there's the Twig surfing the sweet spot there, the Eddie Merckx of esports. Johan Gren, Nathan, I believe he took the start here. He came in as one of our top-ranked riders. There's Wouter Zwart as well. So these are the usual suspects, no doubt about it. You're going to see most of the riders racing in this USA Cycling round will be in that North American time zone. Some of our European friends not staying up super late. I suppose right now it's not even 8 o'clock at night in Sweden, where Johan Gren would be racing out of. But it looks like, okay, Nathan, so we talked about the tactic here. They've been using other riders to soften this group up, but now it is going to be Shawnee Berger who's attacked. So you can see Shawnee Berger now taking her turn. So this is a little bit of a surprise. I thought maybe they'd hold her in reserve for the finale. Let's see how Lauren Stevens and company are going to respond, because this should be red alert moment here. Shawnee Berger, winner of the first round. Really, really dangerous rider, Nathan. Oh boy, this is going to be exciting. Women's race hotting up right now.
5-second gap already here from Shawnee Berger now. We do see Saris maybe pushing. It looks like Bacchus at the front there as well. I'm seeing Murray as well. I want to stay with the men's race a little bit here too, because 40 just made a little bit of an attack, it looks like, from Team Heino in the men's race. Moving his way backwards, I am seeing one of the riders out of it looks like Belgium there with a solid orange numbers there as well. So it does look like it's going to be Powers there Kate Power there from the Belgian Zwift racing team. Luke Chabel now making his way to the front as well. Larry Parker. It is stretching out a little bit here in the men's race, but it does look like Shawnee still holding on to about the solid 5 seconds. Not going to be able to split things up in the men's race, though, just as of yet. Let's go ahead and jump on in with the women, though, real quickly and see what this gap is looking like with this attack from Shawnee Berger. They worked very hard to loosen up the legs, it looks like, but it may not be working out. Murray on the front. Interesting to see. Murray, is she perhaps accidentally working too hard on the front to pull Shawnee back there? We are see Jackie Herring there from the Evoke team making her way there to the front as well. So it looks like Evoke's going to shut things down along with Team Fearless, as Shawnee Berger, current series leader, gets brought back into the fold. Lauren Stevens is still as well, and Lauren Stevens second overall in the series points right now. So both of the series top 2 spots still in here. Shawnee now back off the back a little bit, but she's going to jump back on.
Yeah.
She'll jump back on. The speed just gets really high as they come on through.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, a really good example there of the feathering and when the momentum of that peloton goes rolling by you. So again, they've neutralized that attack from Shani Berger out of Israel, one of the most dangerous riders without any doubt in this group. She's in that the winner's circle every single time we line them up here with USA Cycling Saris, the Pros Closet event. So okay, status quo right now. I was interested to see what was going to happen. So Shani Berger, one of the strongest women in the race, attacking solo. Nobody wanted to go with her. It seems like that just ended up status quo as we bring everything back together now. All right. So again, 39K. So the women are just hitting the halfway point out here in Central Park, Nathan. The men a little bit further along than that. They started a little bit earlier as well. It's been just as active, no question. This esports racing always brings out the best in our fields. We get right down to brass tacks out here. There is no half an hour of easing into the race. They go out insanely hard and they never back off. There's no quarter asked for and no quarter given. Nathan, you've done such a good job of helping us look at the course. You can see that the percentage of the grade that they're on is a little bit steeper than you might think you'd see in Central Park. As people from New York aren't surprised, that's for sure. But you can see that they're now working their way up to 3-4% grade over here. You can right below that in the top right-hand corner, you can see the watts per kilo, the advantage that the splits that we have out on course. So a lot of information to take in here, Nathan, as we follow along. But that's the most important moment of all, isn't it? Is you get a good look at the run into the finish line. And this is exactly the halfway point. So that's become increasingly challenging for this guy, to be honest. So I'm definitely going to be following your lead today, Nathan, as we bring home all of these categories out here.
See how difficult that section of course is. Even Berger falling off a little bit as they press the pace, and it's very deceptive that section because it rolls in so fast. But then the wall that you hit as you come through the finish banner there. It definitely kind of throws you for a loop because if they press on over the top, the speeds don't necessarily carry as well as you thought they would. And you can see a little bit of struggle on the back here from Berger as well as Jennifer Reel from Team Saris.
Nathan, your expertise is always invaluable out here, having done this recon this so many times. That to the finish line from 200 meters, how steep, how hard is that?
It's the kick there from 200 meters is insane. It's actually
where do you kick? Where do you kick?
Actually you have to? So the thing is, it's two kicks because you have to kick to stay with the speed on the downhill and make sure that you kick almost going into the downhill so that you're on the first or second wheel, and you can actually perfectly use your draft along with, because it's a negative 3% gradient or more. You can actually get into a super tuck to the front, and then kick a second time.
That's some
really
next level
tactical.
Zwifting then.
It's really tactical.
Yeah, if you're able to, that's a series of moves. It's like a ballet at the Bolshoi, right? You got to put together 6 different maneuvers there and getting into that super tuck. If you miss that move, right, don't you kind of stuff it up?
Well, you're just wasting extra energy. You can come on through still, but somebody's going to have a serious kick, probably over the top of you. Yeah, with 13, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,300 watts, because they're doing nothing to boom, just an immediate, those immediate kicks up into that probably somewhere between 11 to 15 watts per kilogram. It's just a big, big move, at that point. So really that last 150, though, is usually where you see somebody come through. Last 50 meters, even sometimes riders are able to grab a second in that last 50 if they come through fast enough, because it's such a wall into that finish line. Corey Lockwood now, Tyler Williams.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
I was just going to say, Nathan, if there's one guy that could win solo out here, one of them at least would be Corey Lockwood. He's a 2-time U.S. national time trial champion. He's exceptional at riding alone. He knows how to go deep, deep into the pain cave, and he can stay there for a long time. So Corey Lockwood would have me very interested in what's happening in the front of this race. He's out of Bakersfield, California. Again, not only is he national champion, he won Redlands in a stunning last day. Talk about upsetting the apple cart there. That was one heck of a ride. So yeah, big name. We're finding more. It seems like every 5 minutes I find a new talented rider on this Legion LA team in this field. So that right there, and again, when you've got a guy with that kind of talent for a long range attack, you've got guys that can cover the middle range moves, and you've got Corey Williams. Okay, well, here we go. It's always fun to watch how this all plays out. when you look now, the dropouts team, they've got these two Canadians that are a wicked 1-2 combo. I mean, Brett Boniface, Nathan, one of the best esports riders that we know of.
Yeah, I'd be watching out for him in the final. It's been very difficult
Me
to
too.
obviously drop him off. And I believe Boniface here, if I'm looking at the results correctly, we are looking at they're going to be defending him for sure. If we're going to take another look at this real quickly, and let's go ahead and go through as things calm down here in the second half of the race. Take a look through all the categories, and this is the current standings. Obviously, USA Cycling, Saris Pro Slot presented by Saris Pro Slot Closet here, but that's your top 10 currently in the A's. So be watching out for Boniface to be defending, as well as George Mills Keeling. I think Keeling's going to be out here looking for a top spot, as well as Cormac Mcgill to kind of get into that top 3 situation. But in the B category, then we also got Chuck Cole. It looks like Blake Herbold, Dan Peltiel, and then Ian Mulligan, Ryan Tweeten. And that's the rest of your top 10 in the B categories. Good to see. In the C category, current standings, these are Kristin Armstrong. Good to see McDonald, longtime viewer, and they're going to be out there hammering away. The reason we're also everybody knows these are going on currently right now. These are league positions in points after 2 races. And so these races are going on during this men's race and women's race as well in the A categories. These are your current standings. Daniel Stevens, Daryl Askey, and Cameron Lady there in the D category. So that's what's going on with the men's side of things in those other categories. Now, we do have an attack, though, in the men's A race right now. And it does look like, as I just said, Cormac Mcgill looking for some extra points. Goes off the front for Wildlife Generation. Spencer Downing there as well, Snitzer, and then Tyler Williams. So some strong riders here. Through this section, of course, we've seen attacks almost every single lap. We've got about 10K to go. Solid time to go with it here.
Yeah, his talking about Cormac Mcgill, his in real life director for Wildlife Generation, Danny Van Out, is watching right now. I'm sure cheering him on. Cormac, a very strong rider, living in Durango, Colorado. You see that Irish flag next to his name. He's got his coach John Sheehan up there in Seattle watching right now as well. So okay, we've got an interesting move coming together. It shows you how Tyler Williams is up there. So Tyler, another one of the very strong riders on Legion. That helps. I don't think you're going to get anything clear without a Legion and a dropouts rider. Now that Dan there, is that going to be our man Dan out of the United Kingdom?
Dan J, no, USA here, and he is
not okay.
Showing him on a mountain bike, but I don't believe he's actually on a mountain bike. I think that's client side. He most likely changed in the pens, and it didn't pick up client side. So interesting to see the mountain bike with the S-Works there hammering away. If he is on a mountain bike, my goodness. But I have a feeling he came over from the jungle. And,
right. This isn't the Cat 5s, right? So, okay, that's funny, Nathan. But yeah, your expertise there, I'm going to follow along with.
It's
but
just
Tyler
great to
Williams
see. It's kind of fun to
now.
see, even though that there's this mountain bike hammering off the front. Only in the world of Zwift are you going to see this top end level racing. And here comes the mountain bike. I love the skins coming through, and a little bit of repping on the MTB side. I like the dirt representation personally. It's good to see out there. So now
I agree.
NSW here looks like from Australia trying to come across, it looks like, and then we are seeing Mullins Twig there as well. 8 watts per kilometer looks like it's going to be shut down. This section, of course, always the section they've had trouble staying away with this very fast downhill section, and they're going to be taking a left-hand turn in a moment here, back on over toward the lap banner, finish banner, lap banner here in just a moment.
Following along your plot line, they did not stay away, Nathan. That section, is where you see a lot of small groups being brought back into the fold as they'll hit the reset button there at 32K right now for the men, or just about to hit 32K. So let's say 7K to go for them. So that's
one
getting
lap
right
to
down
go. It'll
to
be
it.
one lap to go. They'll be into their bell lap then if that's right there. And
so let's watch closely, Nathan. Yeah, agreed. Let's watch closely then as this is going to be as they come up. Now, they're just about to come up on one lap to go, correct? As we'll
get correct.
A good look here then at the finale. So this is where Nathan and his experience, the ability to have knowledge of what's coming your way makes a huge difference. So as I mentioned, we got riders all over the shop right now. That's not a rider in this race, just another rider in another one of the categories I'm going to imagine that we're going by as we see the speed here hanging right at a little over 55K per hour. They're starting to ramp it up.
Fraser, very strong rider. Be watching out for Fraser. And I believe, is that the rider that actually won over this past weekend in the Redlands Road race there? Sprint, in that sprint to the line with Lockwood.
Yeah, right. Beat Williams straight up. That was a huge win. So absolutely, there's another rider to watch, and he's moving up to the front. Nathan, I'm going to let you. Well, this should take us right to the line here, doesn't it? That's it.
Yeah, we've got
Boom. So,
one to go here from this moment forward.
yeah, there you go. So obviously, when you see the barricades there on the side, that's a really good indicator that you can imagine the thousands of people in the crowd cheering as you come across the line. So, okay, resetting things there with one lap to go. The women will be coming up on one lap to go pretty quickly here as well, Nathan. So, again, with racers in 8 different events going on out here in Central Park. Well, we can't cover them all. We wish we could, but to do any kind of justice to the races we have, we're going to stick with Corey Lockwood and company. Brett Boniface, the Canadian strongman here. And there you go. Patented move, his signature move. Nathan, the Canadian, is on the attack. Brett Boniface hits out for the prairie.
Yeah, and this is what's been happening every lap. I believe there's been this little bit of a kick into this 2% uphill grain after the lap finish banner. Very, very difficult to hang on. Corey Lockwood now into 6 watts per kilogram, looking to follow. It looks like Dan Jay's there as well. Bergen now the Vikings team coming out of Norway. Larry Parker for Saris TPC you can see as well. It looks like Mills Keeling is still there. That's your current 6th place overall, I think, in the series. He's going to be looking for some extra points and making sure that he's always toward the front. There is some splits going on here. Spencer Downing, little ways back. We see Brian Hodges, the rider from Evoke. We said he's got a good turn of speed, but can he hang on through the rest of the lap here? Lots of riders in the back of this pack who have a good kick. And I think some of these riders to the front are going to be wanting to drop them off. Now, Corey Williams, they're sitting in for Legion, though, as you can see at that top 5 situation. Boniface off the front. I believe he's going to be brought back here, but I don't think the dropouts are going to be doing any work to make that happen.
No, I agreed. And I would say that Legion will, and they're going to have to use a couple of their high-level riders to do that. Corey Lockwood certainly would qualify as a high-level rider. So let's see if they can get any help as well, because I don't think Legion wants to do all of this work, but certainly a nice job by Brett Boniface. Again, this is Brett Boniface at his best out here. I don't think I've been in commentated on an event, Nathan, that he's done where we haven't seen him attack, try to make soften things up. But there you go. That's how quickly they're able to reset things here, bearing down on the finish. I mean, we're really about, let's say, 4K for this one being done and dusted here in New York Central Park.
Yeah, if we look at the lap here, they're going to come down and around the very steep sections here in just a moment, left-hand turn, and then there'll be a couple of little more bumps here. I believe this is all going to stick together, and there's still a lot of riders involved at the front end of this race here. If we take a look, I'm going to head over on ZwiftPower.com. If you always want to follow along with the live race, a great way to do so is by following along on ZwiftPower.com. And in the A category currently, to hang on at the front of this race for this men's race, you'd have to be putting out somewhere between I think the lowest I'm seeing is 4.1 maybe. We're seeing, I think, actually 4 or 5 plus to hang out in this front group. So it's definitely one of the strongest groups out on course here. And 33.2K, I believe we've got, from what I can see, about 50 plus riders still involved in this race here. So going to be a difficult way to try and drop anybody off from here as they make their way around for the second half of this final lap here. Twig now toward the front, and still anybody's race. We could have a wild card for the win out here today. Going to be all about a kick, I think, unless somebody makes a serious flyer off the front, but I think everything's going to be brought back because the teams, there's so many teams involved still here. There's plenty of horsepower. It might kind of neutralize things because of that, because everybody's going to kind of know, look, this is not working. Nobody's really going anywhere, and they're just going to be following wheels looking for that final kick to the line.
Yeah, Nathan, we haven't seen a group this large go to the line in a while, I would say. Usually they whittle it down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, one of the top 5 riders in this race, I would say, based on Zwift power points. The lower the points, the straight, but very dangerous rider. So much like we saw in the women's race from the Saris team, it's been the dropouts here. It's not all Canadians on this squad, but there's a heavy Canadian influence. And who does he have going with him now? It looks like Power getting up there, Nathan. Another rider who weighs 70 kilograms.
And now we do have an attack here. It's been pretty calm in the women's race for the last couple of minutes here. We've been watching over on another screen here, making sure that there's no moves they've been making. It's pretty much been Grupo Compacto for the last 5 minutes or so. They've got about 10K to go, so plenty of women's racing left. Sticking with the men here for just a little while as they head into their final 3 to 4K. Not too many moves. If we do see a move in the women's race, we'll definitely move on over there. But Berger here at 2.7 watts per kilogram. It's been Grupo Compacto for quite a while. I think they're kind of reset a little bit at this point. Saris now with the move at the front a little bit here from Russell. This is the first one that's been there for a while. 34 kilometers per hour right now from the women's side of things. But 10K racing, plenty of racing in the women's race still to come. But in the men's race, we are heading into the final few K. We want to definitely see if there's any moves or any breakaway situations that do happen there. And it looks like Jubot to the front now. It's going to be also the Australian rider, NSW there, and now it's going to be P. Backer, the Swedish rider, toward the front. 8 watts per kilogram there coming from one of the Canadians there. Now Power there from BZR to the front. Friend there, DTR, and couple more turns. You can see in the upper left-hand corner here, Dave, just real quick, you see the start pens, that little tree. It almost looks like a tree on the left-hand side of the map there. It'll be back into the map in just a second here. As they come closer to that, you know they're getting close to the finish line. You can almost see the banner there on that there. So as they'll come around the corner here, be around 39K. Now, just so everybody knows, those Zwift power numbers are not exact. The distances are not exact. It doesn't always take into account the lead-in out of the start pens. There's a couple of other places out on course that might lose a little bit of distance. So we're going to be looking at around 39K. I think we're about 1K. That looks like about 1K to the finish line, though. We might be just about spot on today.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we might have finally really gotten that close. So either way, Nathan, this is the business end, and we will watch closely. You have a really good handle on this because we talked about how you play your cards correctly. There's a double surge that happens. If you can't go with the first one, you're not going to be a part of the second one. In order to win, you've got to risk losing it at this level. That's an understatement, to tell you the truth. So we're going to start seeing these attacks going clear. Who wants to cover these moves? And then this is going to be the surge coming up pretty quickly here, Nathan, that we're talking about. Again, you're going to see those numbers go negative as they start on the downhill run to the finish line. All right, the gallop begins right here, right now. Let's lock horns, gentlemen.
Yeah, we just see Zimmerman start making way to the line. It's going to be a left-hand turn in just a moment here, and then it's downhill, and only about 500 meters to go after this downhill. This is the section. You can get into a super tuck hill. We'll see if anybody's able to really play well. Bragg Bergen to the front, 8 watts per kilogram at a free air now. Corey Williams now, 8.2 watts per kilogram, but does he know this section, of course? Does he know when to go? We're seeing 11 watts per kilogram, 14 watts per kilogram. Corey Williams goes Legion. Will he be able to hold on to the line, though? It looks like it's Tyler Williams. Tyler Williams holding Backer from Sweden now. Is he going to hold Luke Chabot now coming to the front? It's neck and neck, so close. Corey Williams coming through. Is he going to hold Evoke? Oh, did Evoke take it? It looks like we're going to have to wait for the results. Brian Hodges, Corey Williams, did we not call it? Those were the two to watch. The turn to speed, 15 watts per kilogram to the line. What a kick there. I believe Corey might have just held on. Right. The camera angle, I wasn't sure. What a kick, though, from Williams.
Oh, you called it at the opener there. Now, remember, we do have the women coming in hot, so we'll be watching them. But, Nathan, you sure called that one. I think Williams might have finally cracked the code in New York City. We're going to go back. We'll be able to review that and have an accurate result for you. Guys, what a finale that was. We got another one coming your way. This is your women. They're coming in hot. Let's wind it up tight, Nathan. It's going to be Russell, the Saris riders. They've done a great job. Is this team going to finish it here? Will Shawnee Berger get another win in our USA Cycling the Pros Closet? It's finale time again. They're right now, Nathan, about 7K to go.
7K to go.
7K.
Yeah. 7K to go. I think so. They're gonna start their bell lap here in just a moment. Hopefully, we'll start seeing some attacks here, some animation for anybody who does not want doesn't want a sprint finish to the line like we just saw with Hodges, Brian Hodges, as well as Corey Williams. We'll have to wait.
Going to be hard to do.
It's going to be very hard to do with Tibco in here with Lauren Stevens. The solo Tibco rider, though, she has been controlling this race so well, though, and so extremely strong. Obviously, Evoke as well. But Saris, the dominant team with the numbers out here today, they have been just trying to loosen things up and really put some sting in the legs. And hasn't really worked out, though, it looks like so far. But now Shawnee Berger going to the front into this, going into the bell lap here. Interesting to see. Backus now 8.5. This is a solid kick here coming from Berger. Saris not following it up, so it looks like they're allowing her to go. And it looks like Backus, if she can get on the wheel, we could see a Turbo Saris breakaway here. And that would be pretty interesting to see, because then Revo as well as Typico would have to make the chase.
So that was the finish line. We just saw the men come through. So the women now are out on their last lap. One to go, ladies. One to go, one to go, one to go. This is the best part, Nathan. I love the finale, the small elite group. They started with 38. They really whittled this down to what looks like a little bit less than 20 riders. And, okay, they're putting the accelerator down on the floorboard here. Henry looking like a rider who's going to make the first surge here as they head out on the last lap. Shawnee Berger, obviously one of the big names in this field. Lawrence Stevens comes in as an undeniable force to be dealt with. So, Nathan, are those the two names that we're going to hear coming over the line for the win? Because every now and then you get two dogs fighting for a bone and a third one comes along and takes it. There's going to be some interesting opportunities here. As Lawrence Stevens, though, as you noted, with no teammates, Saris has got numbers. Let's see if they can use it.
Yeah, if we take a look here real quickly at the current standings overall as well. I mean, as we come into the line here, Shawnee Berger obviously going to be looking to defend her top spot there. Lauren Stevens going to be wanting to grab some points. Carolyn Murray also going to be one to watch out for. She's been right there. She was involved here with some early attacks. Has she been able to hang on, though, is the question. As I look through the current situation amongst the women here, I believe Murray is still involved at the front here, but Murray is here still as well. So top three overall. Christy Tracy's still there. So Daniela is straight, though. This is a rider who has been very, very strong. A big upset. She was challenging that dominant Hino team over this past Zwift season in the winter and into the spring. So I'd be watching out for Daniela Straight, actually. As far as all the wild cards go, she's in it amongst this group, and she has a solid kick to the line. She hasn't been able to show it off recently, but perhaps today will be her day. I'd definitely be watching out for Daniela Straight, especially with this uphill finish out here today.
I agree. One of the savviest riders out here and has got some real experience in esports as well, Nathan. That's a good pick up there. The Romanian rider that you're looking at there. This is USA Cycling's elite women's field, the A group that we've got now coming into the business end. They're going to, right now, it's fair to say, I think we had a really good look. It's just a little over 39K total distance here. But again, as Nathan has noted, don't watch that as much as you just have to really watch the course. That's for sure. So here we go, looking at this group, the select group. Nathan, I don't know that anyone's going to be able to attack out of this group and make it stick. It'll be interesting to watch who tries. That's for sure. It's one of the great things about racing at this level. There's going to be the rider that doesn't want to sprint with this group, that's willing to roll those dice. And again, it's certainly the odds aren't in your favor, but when you do get those solo breakaway wins, they're as sweet as it gets. There's a certain sense of satisfaction that winning a bike race, coming across the line alone, that most human beings will never, ever experience.
Yeah, we are seeing, just a moment ago, we did see Poland there from Evoke off the back. Her teammate, Jackie Herrig here, the pro triathlete, is the only one from Evoke left in this group. So Jackie Herrig going to have to get the work done herself. It looks like that's maybe why she went to the front. I no longer have a teammate here. Maybe I can put some hurt in with a half a lap to go. We are making the turnaround 180 degrees, and this is the turnaround point on the 6 train, and then they're going to be heading into this last half a lap. So it does look like she is the solo Evoke rider able to make this lead group now. Tipco now to the front, also solo at this point. Really, it is Saris's game to lose as far as the numbers go, as they are sitting in a lot here, looking to support Shawnee Berger, their current series leader. Vixen in here as well. Chaffin, it looks like, currently 158 beats per minute. If we look at some of the heart rates here, Jackie Herrig, the 175, she's putting the work in. Not sure if it's going to work out for her, though. 161 beats per minute here for the CLS team. We're also seeing it looks like Murray here at 152. So a lot of these riders still very low on the heart rate. Polly Mason, another one to watch out for from Saris. She's got a good kick as well as she comes across the line. So, there's a lot of opportunity here, but again, it's going to be Berger and Stevens that have shown themselves to be the real talent. I think Daniela is straight. She's making her way to the front here. What's the heart rate at? 162 beats per minute. Watch out for her straight, though. Maybe be able to make some upset with the kind of experience that she has amongst this group. I think she's the most experienced amongst them, actually, as far as the top three, the top two, that Berger versus Stevens. Daniela Strait, I think, is one that has the kick and the experience in this course. But Murray here, she did this on the first lap. She's doing it again in the same section on the last lap, looking to put the hurt in. And I think this is for the for Berger here at this point to say, look, chase this down, waste some energy because we got to put Sting in the legs so that Berger has a better chance. And I think Berger, she's just going to be sitting in, making sure that the work's getting done at the front.
Caroline Murray, the Scottish rocket there off the front right now. Nathan, you did a really good job there, I'd say, of describing the riders to watch. Shawnee Berger, Lauren Stevens, and Danielle Estrate. These are the top three, I would say, if you're going to box a trifecta, as they say. Those would be the three biggest names in this field, but you just never know. Christy Tracy, I would expect we're going to see her as part of the plot line here coming into the finale. And turbo rider Charlotte Backus, she's just knocking on the door for a big win at this level. So again, Shawnee Berger, Lauren Stevens, Caroline Murray, Christy Tracy, Danielle Estrate, Anna Russell, Charlotte Backus, Pamela Veen. These are the ladies that are riding up in this front group. Someone's going to have a big win here today. Again, remembering Shawnee Berger representing Israel, Lauren Stevens the top ranked American, and I see her license number there, so she'll be in that breakout. She'll be the leading rider, with Christy Tracy the second and Charlotte Backus third as we come into the third of this series. So we've already had two. Donnybrooks, prepare yourself for a third. And Nathan, we're really looking at a tiny bit more than 2 kilometers until this one is paid in New York City.
Yeah, and we will be going back, and just so everybody knows, in the men's race, we will be going back and looking at the replay. In just a moment, we want to make sure we catch all the action.
I'm curious.
For the finish of the women's race here, as results are starting to come in, and it is very interesting how it ended up playing.
Do you know?
Out. Is so incredibly. I'm not.
You know.
We're leaving it here. We're leaving it here with the women for now. And we do see the finish line around the corner in the mini map up there. We're getting a negative 5% gradient on the upper right hand corner, as you can see. That's the gradients currently. 161 beats Murray here, currently coming from Murray. Levine there from Vision. Pamela Levine. This is a rider to watch out for as well. Vision Cycling here. This is somebody that has not been racing a whole lot as of recently, but look at the kit that she's got here. She's got one of the fastest bikes in game, currently fastest wheels as well. Obviously, tons of drops. Though that wheel set is 1.5 million drops alone. Very experienced rider, obviously, with that kind of a setup here. Pamela Levine, watch out for her for a top podium spot, perhaps. I don't know about the win out here today, but she could be able to maybe have a serious upset. So watch out for that in this final little kick. Lots of experience underneath that rider's wheels.
Move that into kilometers, Nathan, those drops. Is that her riding 10,000 kilometers or something to get that?
It's an insane amount of kilometers. It is
a lot of time on Zwift.
A lot of time on Zwift.
So, okay, Nathan, here's the story. We're down to a little more than 1/2 kilometer of racing. This is going to turn into a slugfest now. These are the women with a chance to win. This could go a lot of different directions. As we have noted, they're going to hit the downhill. Then it bottoms out, and they start the sprint to the finish line. Nathan, again, Tracy makes her move. Okay, the first cards are being played. I'm going to throw it to you in Wisconsin, Nathan. Let's bring the ladies home. It's the grand finale here in Central Park. Christy Tracy is hit out. She's flogging herself like a rented mule right now.
Christy Tracy, 8.8 watts per kilogram, 181 beats per minute. This is a move. It's a very risky move. Anna Russell there going to the front, working for Saris here. Berger's there as well. Saris are just dominating the front of this race here, trying to make sure that some work is maybe being done by the other riders. Polly Mason from Saris there as well. Tracy might just have this. She has a solid 3 seconds going to the finish line, but I think the turn of speed might be just too much for behind. Here comes Berger, 9 watts per kilogram, 11 watts per kilogram from Berger. I believe they're going to catch her. She's just got, it looks like 100 meters to the line. Stevens coming 11 watts per kilogram. Lauren Stevens, it looks like, is going to make it happen. Who's going to take it to the line? Berger, though. Berger to the line. It looks to be Shawnee Berger. Christy Tracy, Daniela Strait might have got the better of Lauren Stevens, perhaps. Stevens may be in fourth. We'll have to take a look at the replay, but what a kick there coming from Shawnee Berger. We said to the line, but did you see how that wall came at them at the end? What a kick there from Shawnee Berger. Stevens, I believe, almost had it, and what was going on there, though, with Saris? They were all over the map. I was kind of confused almost, like, what was the plan there? But what a kick there at the line. Let's take a quick look at the replays then from the day, as we did just watch the women's race to the line. And let's go ahead and see if we can bring this on in here for the women. And it was Christy Tracy, as you can see here. She had the kick. We can go ahead and speed this up for everybody here just a second. And solid kick. She's got this gap. She goes with like half a K, which was super interesting to see. Polly Mason, look at that. 1 watt per kilogram from Polly Mason. Lauren Stevens waits to kick 8 watts per kilogram. 10 watts per kilogram for Lauren Stevens. You can see on the right-hand side. There's still 2 seconds back, and Kristin Tracy can see it. It's like she's fading those 7 watts per kilogram. Nothing left. 611. It's 572. Here comes the pack now. Lauren Stevens, 11 watts per kilogram. Berger, 11 watts per kilogram. Berger comes with a better turn of speed. Daniela is straight, holding on. Does Lauren Stevens come across, though, right at the line? No. Looks like Daniela is straight, and Kristin Tracy hold on. And
Tracy?
Stevens for 4th. Tracy, what a hold on it looks like there.
Yeah, and I mean, that personifies my in order to win, you have to risk losing. How close did she come there? Kristin Tracy, salute to you. That's the ride of the day, no doubt about it, outside of the win there for the mighty, mighty Shawnee Berger. Oh, good job, Shawnee. Holy cow. Now, winning a couple of times, people say, oh, wow, she's strong. Well, when you can continue to win, when you're marked like that, well, I wouldn't even say marked today. That wasn't the problem. She had a good team around her. Use that to her advantage. Lauren Stevens, so close. But
let's take a quick look here at the men's race, too.
Strate as well. Good. Yeah, let's take a look, Nathan. I'm really curious who did get this one. It's been a cliffhanger.
I definitely wanted to get the women's finish there, but let's go ahead and see how things played out here. So Freyer here from Legion, leading things out, it looks like. Walter Zwart is there, BNB as well. He was leading things out up in that first place there. Then you can see Legion on the front, trying to get a good idea of who is actually on the front there for Legion. Is that Corey? No, Tyler Williams is the lead out. Where is Corey? He's like
right,
way there. He is fourth wheel comes through to the front. We're on him now. He jumps to the front of the race here, it looks like. But Backer there holding on. Bergen there. Wildlife Generation. Cormac Mcgill. Where's Evo? Look at how Brian Hodges is still back in 9th wheel at this point. He times it perfectly, it looks like, and it was right to the line. Boom! There it is. Hodges Williams. Looks like Hodges just grabbing it. It is 1 second behind there as far as the what we're seeing on screen versus. But let me go ahead and see if we can bring in the actual results. So that was the sprint to the line between the men. And then in the men's results, here we go. It was Hodges just barely by 2/100ths of a second. That's how close it was. Corey Williams ends up in 2nd place. Then it's going to be 3rd for Vigo Moore. Gel Power there from the BZR team, Luke Gilbert. And then it's going to be Backer, Cormac Mcgill for 7th. And then Bragg Bergen coming in, followed up by Alex Fraser-Moran. Moran there, he was actually the winner up against...
Redlands winner.
Yeah, Redlands winner.
Road race.
Good to see him out there for that 9th place. This is a very tactical finish, though, this one. Very, very difficult finish to get right there, but solid result there. Larry Parker for Saris TP, Steve the Pros Closet then. Let's go ahead and take a quick look and see what we got for results here across all the categories. B category, Dustin Byers. We'll just read out the top 3 for them all. Give some shout-outs there for participation in the USA Cycling Series presented by Saris the Pros Closet here, and it is going to be Blake Herbold and then Chuck Coyle in the B category. In the C category, Christian McDonald, Brendan Brown, and then Federico Bandini coming out of Italy for the results here in the C category. In the D category, Saunders, followed up by Daniel Stevens, and then Tyler Lepzig. That is the situation there. And then we do have, obviously, for tomorrow, everybody, we always like to shout out that tomorrow we will be having the Team Time Trial Premier League that will be going on. For the women's side of things, we probably only have the A's. We'll have to see if we do have some of the B's in the season that have come in. But Shawnee Berger, Kristin Tracy, then Daniela Strait. Kristin Tracy held on ahead of Daniela Strait, actually. As you just said, Dave, what an amazing last half a K run for Kristin Tracy, and holds on to that finish line. Lauren Stevens there 4th. Manili Keller, followed up by Carolyn Murray, who was I would say, most aggressive rider on the day. Carolyn Murray, 1st lap attacks, 3rd lap attack, last lap attack, and then still able to hold on for 6th place there. Kate Takashita, followed up by Clara James Herr, Jackie Herrick for Evoke, and Charlotte Backus for Team Turbo. Let's go ahead and see real quickly. Do we have some of the B? And some of the ladies still out on course, so we will not have any of the other categories finished up just as of yet. But again, Team Time Trial tomorrow, everybody. For those that are looking for some more ZCL coverage, we'll be doing the WTRL Team Time Trial here. And make sure to tune in for that as we have our Premier League feature out on Zwift tomorrow. Dave, awesome racing here with the USA Cycling League. Great to see all the participants out there and some amazing kicks to the line on a very tactical course.
Yeah, that was an absolute blast. Thanks again to USA Cycling. They are working so hard right now to have us ready. We are locked and loaded and ready to race bikes again. So thanks. There's a great piece on Instagram or all the social media outlets where you can see Rob DiMartini and Tim Johnson talking about kind of where we're at with USA Cycling and athlete development. So big thanks to them. Thank you to Saris and the Pros Closet as well for hosting our races, and to all of our athletes. Boy, that was quite a show today. I'm so glad we got to race in Central Park. And Nathan, look at those numbers. 3,700 riders will be part of our team time trial squad. I'm really pumped for a big day with the World Tactical Racing League. And Nathan, thank you to you. Great job today.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate everybody out there. The viewers, if you haven't checked out all of the VODs, you can always find those over on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. That's the places we're always live, as well as Twitter and Mixer. Make sure to hit those follow buttons. And thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. Great job to all the riders. As always, everybody, ride on.